Good morning, traders. This is Barry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 13 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, October 21st. So, looking back at yesterday's session, right up in the upper left corner, we can just see that the VIX continued to kind of, you know, peter down. Remember, the VIX rolls tomorrow morning, right? So, today is actually the last day that institutions and traders can trade options contracts on that month that expires tomorrow. All right, so keep that in mind. Uh, Looking at what we had that drive up for the first, 90 minutes or so, uh, probably like more like 63 minutes, and then we got stuck in a 50-point range basically in the Nasdaq for the rest of the session. Not a lot doing, and then not as noticeable on the NQ, and I mentioned this yesterday that, you know, those one day moves, right? They either hold in check or they can become support and resistance lines. Uh, kind of got over that in the NQ, but you can see in the ES, once you got over it, it just checked off of it and stayed above it. It was a little bit more technical that way. And if we look at the poor structure that was left on the charts before, right, we filled in this poor structure here on the uh, NASDAQ and just couldn't get over it on the ES. As we, kind of look at where we're at, we're getting close to the top, right? We're back to the session leg start down, even though it's only one bar. I'm still gonna consider it where the drive down started just because the candle is so big. But we've been inside of that candle ever since Friday the 10th. So as we uh, come across here, we're about up to where we were in those days preceding that. Yesterday's point of control 67.69, and then Monday's or Friday's point of control 67.07. And then as we kind of look at structure yesterday, right, we had a little bit of a poor structure formed to the upside, right, as bears were, given Charlie Brown with a Lucy in the football one more time. And then as we watch this, this will be what you want to watch the rest of the week. And remember, uh, title of my video is Netflix is after the bell. So, and then we have, the VIX roll tomorrow. We'll get into some more of the other stuff in a minute. But, I don't know how much of a catalyst there is, to do anything. You can see the 1 day move. If you pinch this, right, it's just uh, expecting one time framing higher to continue, basically holding above yesterday's low and putting in, potentially another incremental higher high today. We'll see if that happens or not, but that's just a range of, where they think, again, where they thought yesterday by the close, what we would be trading within today. Looking at positioning, 7,000. I'll scroll down to the bottom of it. You can see it on the charts today. But 7,000 is your call wall going into the end of the year. Right now, 6,500 is your put wall on, the sum of all the near-term options that are basically in play right now. And then you can see for today, 6,900 is a call wall. Some probably just sold that because they thought there's no way in hell that's hitting that today. So I wouldn't think that's in play. We closed at 67.35 yesterday. Uh, and then 6,800 would be where a lot of gamma is today. And you can see there's some gamma between 68.10 and 68.15 if we have any, real push to the upside. And you can see 67.50 has some gamma. Again, we closed yesterday just under that at 67.35, and we're basically unchanged right now. And the overnight action has been pretty dull. Right, so looking at the SPY, you can see it's a little bit cleaner. We closed on it yesterday at 671. We're trading 671.30, within a nickel of where we closed yesterday. So you can see on here 670 to 673 is kind of a zone for the week. And for today, the same thing, 670 to 672, 673, right in there. And then if you get a little bit of push up, 675, 676, but you can see there's room up to 678 for the week before you have that low volume node of open interest at 679 before you hit 680. Uh, and then, filtering back down to the other side below 670 with a little bit of a rising VIX, which I don't know if with the VIX expiring tomorrow, I wouldn't count on a rising VIX today, to be honest with you. But I would watch 667 as a stopping point, and then you could potentially get down to 664 to 665. I don't think 661 to 660 is in play at all. Again, we closed at 671. That would be a 110 point drop. Not that we can't have a 110 point drop in the ES. I just don't think it's happening today with the VIX rolling off tomorrow. And then looking at the Qs are trading 611 half, which is basically where we closed yesterday. And you can see for the week you got some, interest between 610 to 612 and then up to 613 and then 615. So basically 610 to 615 is your just doing nothing, going nowhere kind of a trade. Uh, so I will be watching for today 611 to 615, and then also 608 to 611. You can see there's room down to, I would say for the most part, I would be shocked if we don't have 90% of our trading and beyond between 607 and 615 today. And again, that's basically your plus or minus $4 from yesterday's close. That would be a total of an 80-point range if you swung both sides, but you probably won't swing. You probably won't trade 607 and 615 today. Uh, so keep that in mind. And then looking at all of it, what I'm going to be watching first is if you can, the ES had a clearly defined, right? This is a split in the auction. So yesterday's high at 67.85. There's an auction above 67.85, and there's an auction basically right now between 67.85 and let's just call it 67.47. So this, we'll round it off to 38 points in here is, the auction that we're in right now. Uh, and then for the NASDAQ, it's even a little tighter, right? There's, you got the, and I'll pull this down so you can see the 1-day move up here. But you could, flash up towards that 1-day move. Again, that would get you up to around that 60, not quite up to 6,800 in the cash market, but it get you close, getting up to that expected high end of the range today. And then we'll see if we can get it. But if the ES can, muster above this, and I think, with Netflix after the bell today, and I did not bring it up, so I will go back and hit it one more time since I didn't cover it. Uh, Other near-term events that are on the board here. So we got Netflix after the bell today, right? We got the VIX roll tomorrow morning, just before the opening bell. Tesla after the bell tomorrow, and then we're going to have CPI supposedly this Friday at 8:30, right? This is going to be a big news event. If you trade with take profit trader, right? You have to be flat before this event and during this event. Uh, and then if you're in the Pro or the Pro Plus accounts. And then looking out to next week, right? There's some other stuff that'll be on the table that we'll put on the books when it gets there. But so going back to what I'm looking for today, with all the catalysts later, we could kind of just be a little choppy today, have some fake outs. So I'm not looking for any trend, right? We had a little bit of a trending day yesterday. If anything, you would get the mirror image of tomorrow. So, yesterday morning we drove up and then just went sideways doing nothing, right? We could get the drive down and then go sideways doing nothing. I wouldn't really play for that, but that's the mirror image. That's what the market does with symmetry. Um, just think about it in the mirror and going backwards. Uh, but really, I'm not even really probably gonna do too much today, just because I don't think there's a lot on the table for today. Like I said, my keys will be if we can get above and maintain above this level, and if we do just muster a little bit above it and we're going sideways. I don't think we can go sideways for 4 hours again today and then do nothing into the close. So you would probably have a puke one way or the other if you do that very tight consolidation again after the euro close. After lunch today, I would expect some movement if that's the pattern that develops. Uh, Otherwise, I'm just watching, the top and the bottom of the current auctions. Probably be more of a scalping day for me today. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day. We'll see what Jack's looking at next.